Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here. We are here for another great episode. All right. So we're gonna there's my guy right there. Look, tonight's show, I'll be flying solo. You know, we're saying that. Welcome, welcome, welcome to High School Basketball Weekly. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. My partner in crime has off tonight. But our guest is a basketball well-traveled photographer who's all over the country and one of New York City's giants on the media end. This guy is known all over the country for taking photos of some of the greatest athletes from high school, college, street basketball, NBA, you name it. He's been there. Everybody knows him. It's my guy, Mr. Dave Cordova from Dave's Joint. All right, we'll be discussing tonight the importance of getting together with our New York City media peers. Now, I know my guy, Randy for NYC Prospect, will be like, yo, we're not, media personalities. We're a little bit more than that. And that's so true. That's so true. A lot of us are a lot more than that. But we're considered media people because we cover the games and we out there interviewing people. And a lot of us have our journalist hats on. A lot of us are videographers, photographers, and we do a lot for the New York City basketball scene and people, in the tri-state area to all over the country. So I think it's important for us to get together and celebrate ourselves. I think it's sometimes, we lose sight on the power that we do have. And, sometimes we're just photographers or videographers for hire, or we just like to do it for the love of the game. But this weekend, we want to celebrate each other. And, Dave and I, and of course a few others, my guy Jaquan from Who Dreams NYC, our girl Shayla from Shade Days, and a couple of others. We talked about this idea at the beginning of the season. So we're here now. We got a date, and it's going down Sunday, March 29th at 1 p.m. in Brooklyn. So without further ado, let's start the show. Dave, what's happening, my brother?
What's going on, Paul?
Good, man. Good, man. Good. See, you having a nice meal, man. Where you at?
Panera on Fordham Road.
Oh, man. Is that one of your favorite joints?
Yeah, man, definitely. They got some nice lemonade over here.
I see you enjoying it, man. I see you enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Mike? What's going on, my brother? If you get this text, man, if you want to come on, man, we would love to have you, man. You're another pillar in this thing we do here in New York City. Hold on, he just hit me back. Okay, that's not him. I thought he just hit me back. Let me know, Mike. All right. Um, but yeah, let's get right into this, man. You know, we talked about uh doing something like this a while ago, right?
Yes, we did.
And you know, a lot of times, and I need all our media people, photographers, videographers to tap in on this live tonight, because this is about us. A lot of times, you know, we're the faces behind the cameras. We don't get noticed, you know, except for our posts and our likes and you know things of that nature. Um, for myself, Dave, who's been doing this a long time, people kind of know who he is, and me because you know I promote myself with the product as well, and there's some people that go unnoticed, but we want to make sure that you're recognized, and even just to build some camaraderie amongst us to know that we play an important part, right? Because sometimes I think guys feel like they don't have girls, you know, women, men don't have a voice in this thing that we do cover, and we do with a lot of passion. What do you think about that, Dave?
I agree. I definitely agree.
Hold on for a sec. Bet, cool. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you getting back. Look, again, um, I started out just doing basketball heads and the podcast and wanting to you know shed light on our legends and greats in New York City. But then I saw that there were uh no real coverage for our kids that's playing high school. Um, Fortunately, I was able to, you know, be in the paper and things of that nature and get that exposure. What we talked about last night, the other night at the Nike Class Crown event when Tiny mentioned that, right? There's no more coverage of that. And yourself and others was doing it before me. And I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like, you know, there was a lane where we could tap in to the certain market to kind of help shed light and give some exposure to our kids. Um, and then, you know, when I first came up on the scene, again, I came through a time where COVID, where things was kind of dead, right? It wasn't a lot of people on the sidelines. And maybe probably was
Mm-hmm.
prior years before that. I don't know. But I'm just gonna talk about the years where I came on the scene. There was only a few people on the sidelines. And you know, I was out there, my phone doing my thing. You know, I wasn't even hooked up with Five Films yet. Brian wasn't around. We didn't have a high school podcast. And I would just put these clips up on my page to try to gain some traction for these kids. It wasn't for myself, it was for the kids and help them out so they could gain some traction. And then as time went on, you start seeing more and more people fill up on the sidelines, uh, more camera people. We started to get a big presence out there. And again, you, Jaquans, and Shayla, and Baller Journal, Aaron, the people who's been out there doing it for years. Um, there was only a few people, and then me going to the other games where there were like no body there on the lower divisions and giving those kids some shine. Um, Things started to pick up around the city. Um, and now we got what we have now today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been a great thing. Um, oh my God, that's right, Cal from All Things Hoops, when he was around, you know. So there's a lot of people on the scenes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot of people doing their thing, moving and shaking. But I think
Right.
once the traction started getting and you know doing the interviews, and then I saw like, damn, back then Dave was doing interviews with people, right?
Right.
So it but what we kind of put into the ether kind of evolved into something that's become very big in New York,
Mm-hmm.
right? So guys was being able to be hired and get jobs with these bigger companies when they come into town, right? They're getting contracted to do some things, and I think that's an awesome thing. You hear me, Dave?
Indeed. Yeah, I hear you. I'm
Okay.
listening.
All right. Chariot Gaming. What up? What up? What up, fam? Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Chariot.
Yeah. He's always on a check-in. That's right. Seeing Dave joints all the time. Look, Dave, and I told him for this um a while ago, like watching Dave's page and my guy from out in Boston, Joe
Joe
Almeida,
Almeida. That's
right?
right.
Those are the guys that kind of inspired me to do what I was doing for the New York City high school end, right? And then you had like, those guys give me a blueprint of, okay, how can I do what they're doing, but a little bit different? And was able to get my presence out there, get my name known, my company out there, and that started the ball rolling for me on the high school and to knowing now I have presence with the legends and greats and street ball players, and then in high school, because y'all, I don't think y'all really understand how much this means to the culture of New York City. We are in the mecca of basketball in New York City, and we have a presence here and able to give kids a platform to kind of trampoline to do something else. And I think that's important. And why not come together and be celebrated? Why not come together and know that there's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, camaraderie amongst people who do some great things out there in the media world, but really don't get recognized. Really, there's no credit for this. A lot of us are not getting paid for this. We do it, just off the love. So, when we talked about this, everybody was with it, man. When I mentioned this to you, Dave, what was going through your mind when I kind of mentioned this is something that we should do?
Basically, you probably might agree with me on this, but you probably thought of the iconic portrait, "A Great Day of Harlem."
Yep,
Sorry, let me rephrase that. "A Great Day in Harlem" from 1958, and of course the hip hop version from 1998.
yep.
So that's probably what I thought about it, and I figured, you know what, a basketball version would be cool. So here we are.
Yeah, and for those people who don't know what I'm talking about, um, if I can get this whole picture up, let me see if I can open this up some more. This is a great picture that was taken back in the days, and as you see, they hold up. I don't think you can see it. Hold up. Let me do it like this. I had to open up another screen. Right. So as you see there, they're naming all the people that were there, and then they did a hip hop version. We was trying to do it in Harlem, but you know, uh, we couldn't get someone's brownstone to use. And the one thing I didn't want to do is show up with, if a whole bunch of people show up and we're kind of taking over someone's brownstone and do it right. So my brother, his wife, they own a very, very nice brownstone. It's another brownstone right next to it. Depends on how many people come. That I thought we can use, and it's not too deep in Brooklyn where people can't get to it. Right by the train station, very convenient. And I thought that would be a great place. And time was ticking because Dave had gave me the date a while ago, but we
Right.
never jumped on and put it out. So I want to make sure we put it out to the world so everybody knows. Cal, what up? What up?
Calvin Griffin, Harlem's
Yes,
own.
that's right. Still doing this thing. Um, he said there's much better when it comes to the media outlets now. There's more opportunities now for New York City players to get exposure. It's a fact.
Agreed.
That's a fact. So that's been the focus, bring more exposure to all divisions of Captain School, PSAL. That's right, along with Max Prep Place. Yep. Yeah, he's always gonna pump Max Prep. That's right, Max Prep. Dave, thank you for the
Oh
great coverage
yeah,
of New York City
Aaron.
basketball.
Mm.
Oh, yo,
Aaron
congratulations too,
Goldstein
man.
Sr.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. No doubt. Oh yeah, look, man, this kid deserves everything, and he's an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Goldstein is a great example of a New York City player that kind of benefited from the highlights and the things that we were doing, plugging him all throughout the year, not
Yes.
just from uh his high school days, but also him playing in Brevard, making an all-star team and having an impact out there. And now, he went from uh CSI, right? And now
Mm-hmm.
he'll be going with the Alabama State.
No, South Alabama.
South Alabama. Big time. Big time. Big time. Is that the Sun Belt Conference?
Hold on, let me check. I believe it
Big
is. It
time.
may be.
Yeah.
Oh, they played Auburn this year.
Yeah, man.
No, actually, no. They just played Auburn in the NIT.
Look at that. Look at that. Right? So definitely Aaron Goldstein is a prime example of a New York City player benefiting from what we is doing. Of course, he put in the work. Of course, he the one that was killing in high school, you know, college,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's going, to the next level. Um, great job. Yo, we are so proud of you, Abe. We are so proud of you,
Yeah,
man,
man. My
for
man
sure.
Aaron.
Yeah. Say you guys been doing great things.
Cal,
Send
thank
your
you,
kid love.
man. You have two.
That's right. That's right. Mike said Dave was one of the first media members that showed love and then meeting Pooh and Fa who acknowledged the indies. Yeah, media, that's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
That's right. Mike Walker, what's going on?
Yeah, he definitely in the building. He said, when is the picture being taken? Uh
Sunday.
Sunday. Yo, Cal, if you could make it down those last minute, you just finding it out. I've been promoting it on the page all week long. Um, yeah, we'll that'll be dope, man. Sunday, 1 o'clock is the meet and greet. You know, definitely gonna get some refreshments, some food, you know what I'm saying? And make sure everybody's comfortable.
We
Everybody's gonna
all
be
love
good.
food.
That's right. That's right. Come down. And
Mm-hmm.
and, and we call it all media. All media. All
Mm-hmm.
media. All media. That's right. That's
Yes, he did.
facts.
He did put in work. That's a fact. He
Yeah.
did put in work as a variant.
And he's gonna leave a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. He left the legend, is doing major things. Yo, uh NY Hoops World, man. Pop out so people can finally meet you, man. You putting out these rankings and all of these
Mm-hmm.
things. Nobody don't know who
Yeah.
the hell you are. Come on, pop out. This is a great day.
Yes. Yes.
It's a great day to come pop out, you know?
CCCKH.
Yeah, that's our guy, Chris Hudson from up top. Yep.
Okay.
He's our
Chris, what's
connect
going
from
on?
the upstate area.
Oh,
Um,
yes. He
yes.
did reach out to me. Yes.
Yep, that
He
keeps
did
us
reach out to
abreast.
me. He did reach out to Christopher Hudson. Yeah. I do remember him. We corresponded on Twitter. I definitely remember him now.
Yeah. No,
He
definitely.
mentioned,
We appreciate you. We appreciate you, AJ. Keep doing your thing. Good luck. And we're gonna be riding with you all the way, man. Keep making New York City proud.
hmm Mike, what's going on?
Yeah. He said for real. He said when you mentioned him, he said, yeah, y'all reached out. He said, I'll be back in town Saturday afternoon. So Sunday is a good day for the pick. What up? What up? That's right, Jay. That's right,
Jaquan.
Jay. That's right. He did say he'd be back. Yeah. Sunday's excellent. This is an
Yeah.
excellent day. Come through. Come through.
For those that
Um,
don't know, Jaquan is in Washington, D.C. right now for the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament for St. John's versus Duke. So if you guys are watching at home right now and you got the good cable or whatever, watch that game as we speak. We need St. John's to win. So
That's
support
right.
St. John.
That's a fact. How do you think they're gonna fare tonight?
Well, they're up one at halftime, so you know. But I did get to see Duke in Washington D.C. last month against Michigan. They're a tough team, but Siena gave them a run for their money, so anything is possible. I like how Hoops World covers New York City and Long Island. We do. Whenever I can, I do cover Long Island as well.
Yeah, yeah, and of course we got Brian out there, right?
Yes.
So that's another odds and ears out on the Long Island, and this is
Yeah.
what I was telling Hoops World, right? Because I was collabing with him because look, somebody's on the come up. People looked out for me when I was on the come up. You know what I'm saying, like
Mm,
yourself and others. So I extended my hand, but the one thing I couldn't do because I started seeing his name in chats and people on Instagram live, like, yo, who is this dude? Who is this dude? So I hit him up. I
right.
was like, yo, bro, you don't have any presence outside and you're making these posts, which is cool. But if people don't know who you are, I can't really vouch for you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You gotta make yourself visible. That's the only way. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can pop is if you make yourself visible. You can't be hiding forever.
Yeah, and
Definitely got
look,
to make yourself visible.
yeah, and what what he does a great job. Now we don't say you need to put yourself in a post and do all those things. No,
No,
but
no,
if
no,
if
no. But
we
yeah.
know who you are, it's like, okay, damn, he not just reading our posts and getting all our information from us without being at these games.
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
It's important when you
Visibility is
see.
key.
Yeah, you got to be out there, man. You got to be out
Hmm.
there in these basketball streets to kind of, you know, to gain the validity of the others. So when you do kind of collaborate with somebody, it's cool, and they're not just looking at you trying to steal their shine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What made you get into the space, Dave?
I always loved sports. That's for sure. One of the main reasons as to why I got into this space was when I was 12 years old. Everybody knows Slam magazine. If you're a fan of Slam from the early days, then you know of Ben Osborne. He was a writer for Slam, and he came to my middle school when I was in the seventh grade. Actually, I didn't go to that particular school, but I went to school in the same building on a different floor. I was at MS 224 at the time. So Ben came to visit South Bronx Prep, and I got invited into that particular meeting. I met Ben. He autographed a copy of this folder that had a lot of the Slam covers on it, and the rest was history. And I still talk to Ben every now and then. That's my guy. So shout outs to Ben Osborne.
Well, that's dope. You was able to be inspired by somebody who was doing on a larger scale, um,
Right.
which is awesome. And what about your thoughts on the presence on the sidelines? Because if we look at how it was at St. John's, how it was at
Hmm.
LIU, how it is at Fordham, those three particular places. Um,
Hmm.
what are your thoughts on the media presence there?
The media presence in our city is pretty good, but can always be better, you know, because some outlets, don't get me wrong, certain programs can do more for their visibility, while others unfortunately can't. But what I mean? Certain kids, you gotta show them some love. You gotta give them some shine. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, if they blow up, you'll probably be wondering why didn't I go see them? So you never want to do that. You want to give these kids some shine, no matter where they're at.
And I also feel that just as a group of people that's out there giving others service, we should be respected and giving out just due. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
of course, you know, people out there doing this off the cuff just because they want to help others get to another level or help inspire the next generation, whatever the case may be. Everybody have their own reasons why they're in it, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I think as a group, we're strong together, and if the world or New York City, knowing that, we're gonna look out for each other and we're gonna stand by each other, no matter what. I think, we can start to call our own shots to start to do things together to make things happen on our own, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we have a lot of companies that come here and do what they do, put us on the sidelines, put us where they want to put us, and say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, y'all sit right here and do this, create magic, and then leave the city, and then we're stuck waiting for the next thing instead of saying, you know what, we could put on our own event. We could do
Right.
things because the kids gonna come where the cameras are.
Of
People gonna
course.
come
That's
where
how it
the
all.
shine is.
Right. That's how it always is. And you've done a great job with a couple of your events, particularly Brevoort. You know what I mean? In
Yeah,
the middle of the projects. Some people fear coming into the projects, but you made that a safe haven.
that's a
So
fact.
shout outs to you. And then also,
Shout out
like
to
you
my
said,
whole crew, Brevoort
hmm
Basketball League.
absolutely. And like you said, they're only going to go to certain places to cover certain kids. So, yeah, it is what it is. But the kids that will appreciate us more, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they'll forever, like Aaron, they'll forever be grateful to us and they'll always remember what we've done for them. So that's a beautiful thing. And I feel great that I was able to play a part in something special for him. So God bless. I can't wait to see what he does on the Division 1 level.
Yeah, Cal showing you some love.
Yeah, man. Cal always showed me some love. But
He said,
yeah,
I think Mike said, I think NYC media members are providing high quality content for PSL and Catholic organizations. Um, yeah,
we
you know,
are.
and let's give it a shout out to those leagues too, because they make sure they try to give as many media passes to as many folks as possible.
Right. But also, oh yeah, you just touched on a good point. A lot of these events they come and go through the city. But I've been at some events like I hate to bring out of town like other states, but North Carolina around the Christmas break, immediately after the Jordan Holiday Classic, I went down to the John Wall Invitational.
Hmm.
You know, that event has been going on since the '70s under a different name, but still the Holiday Invitational. Shout out to my guy Webb Wellman. For those that don't know him, he was the one dropping those mixtapes on John Wall.
Mm.
So his mixtapes with John Wall continue to blow up. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, now he runs the tournament. He runs the event. Him and his team, the Hoop State Network. Now, the beautiful thing about it is down there, they had some of the best talent nationally. Like they had Southeastern Prep, Spire Academy, IMG, all those teams that were in the top 25 nationally. And of course, some in state teams like Greensboro Gay, Davidson Gay. They had Petersburg from Virginia. So I say all that to say that they have a great product down there. But here's the kicker: they don't have any any corporate sponsors. There's no NBA TV. There's no ESPN coming down there. They got their own live streaming service, which is amazing.
Now we got a couple of people who have their live stream services, right? You
Hmm.
had Sage Media who was doing the PSCL, and now the PSCL got their own, right?
Right.
And Sage Media is like on the outside now. Um,
Hmm.
doing independent stuff now. Just imagine if we all join forces together to put on our own events, knowing
Right.
it's going to be high quality streaming, knowing it's going to be, you know, high quality videographers and photographers there. What up, Dion? What up? Dion is in the building. Uh, Dion Merritt. Um,
Deion Merritt, Queens finest, St.
that's a
Ray's
fact.
alum,
Yeah.
two-time CHSAA champion.
Dave got that memory like Mr. Kachowski, boy. Remember everybody.
I be
Yeah,
reading. I be reading.
right. And um, so those we have the outlets and to do our things. We don't have to wait for you know uh any company to come kind of start something and jump on it. We could
Right.
put our heads together, say, okay, this is what we're gonna do, a yearly event, and we're gonna make sure that it's done up and it's gonna be great for everybody. Um, and make history.
And I know a couple of tournaments that are doing exactly that with no sponsors. Shout outs to Ferris World Bowl up in White Plains. Spectacular tournament. Let's see. Top of the Hill in Soundview.
Yeah.
What else? What else? Bolden Mac out in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Like those are some summer tournaments that people should definitely flock to. They're all for the community.
Mike said this year the PSL decided to be strict on where certain media were allowed to be. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that, Dave?
I mean, they've always been strict, but now it's more magnified, I guess, because of the sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? These companies also have people that work for them that need to produce content for them. So it all makes sense as to why.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you for sure. And that's all we try to do is try to get uh the messages out there that's really being talked about and highlight things that needed to be spotlighted. Um,
Hmm.
this is something I think is important. Again, this is not for pool. This is not for clout. What I have done over the years, seeing the landscape of the whole media circus that's out there, sometimes it can become a circus.
It
Sometimes it
is.
feel like people are stepping on each other's toes. Sometimes it feel like people are having conflicts and don't know how to handle it, and people are not talking, and it's a doggy
It's
dog
one.
world out there,
It's one big soap opera. Let's put it that way.
you know. So I think something like this, um, and I don't care if you do voiceovers. I don't care if you take pictures with your phone, whatever it is. Come down. Let's show each other some love, and let's show the city we can come together and do something great
Hmm.
without just with us, just with us. That's it.
Hmm.
And I think that'll show the kids something as well for the next generation that want to come up and do what we doing.
What
So
4A schools going down and who coming up? Yeah, we can't answer those questions right now.
yeah, that's
But
for definitely another day for sure.
yeah, but I will say this.
Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday because me and Brian will be back Sunday night. Yes.
No, but Dayon, I want to answer your question. I will say that Achievement First must need to come up. They've proved their worth. So, you know what I mean? I feel strongly about them.
Mm. What about St. John's Prep?
That's a hard one because of the league that they're in. And, you know what I mean? There's only 30 schools in the Catholic League. So the question is, double A is 14 teams, seven in Brooklyn, Queens, and seven in the Archdiocesan division, which is the Bronx, Westchester, and Staten Island. So, being that St. John's Prep is located in Queens, somebody has to get swapped out.
Mm. Puff's in the building on Instagram. Checking us out. Puff, man, hope you come down, man. Appreciate you, brother. He said,
Too many people who grabbed the camera and called themselves media started to water down the pod. I agree, Cal. That's true. Very, very true.
So let's expand on that, Dave. Let's expand on that, right? Um, again, you know, it was some pushback on, yo, do we invite everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we really truly invite everybody? And my thing was like, yes, because unlike, there's no, you know, reason that we shouldn't. Um, but again, I think the more, the better, right? And everyone, I've seen guys who started out who have learned, and they're starting to make better edits. They're starting to make better videos. It
Mm-hmm.
can be watered down. It can be, but we're in New York
Yeah.
City, bro. We're in New York
Right.
City. It's
This,
just like the red carpet when you got plenty of people out there with cameras snapping pictures because they
mm-hmm.
know the stars are gonna coming out. The stars are
But
coming out.
I also think about it like this. It's not just in New York that this epidemic is going down. It's in every city. Every other place that I've been to, like let's say Philly, Boston, even the DMV area, you got a lot of people with cameras too. So there's a lot of politics going down. So it's not just a New York thing either. That's how I feel. So
People are
everywhere
riding
you
away.
go, everywhere you go, you know what I mean? You're gonna have those politics. And for example, the day of the snowstorm in February, I left the Duke Michigan game to go up to Philly. This is the day that it was supposed to snow, or that it did snow, I should say. But there was 9,000 strong in the Palestra, one of the best, one of the best high school playoffs ever. Probably they could give our CHS a run for their money because they're in a bigger place and it's wall to wall. And the difference between Philly and New York is out there, people are showing up regardless. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing up solely for the stars. They're there to support their teams. Out here in our city, people are only focused on the names, which is not always a good thing. You know what I mean? Like there's some up and coming players that deserve some shine to some respect. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, our first game, Dave, we was out more Catholic, right?
Well,
Versus
yeah,
St. John's Prep, right?
yeah, but I mean, we all know what happened that night. First and foremost, and plus that was a very small gym. That was a tight space. But yes, shout out to St. John's Prep. They held it down that night, and I still haven't posted none of the stuff from that night either.
Yeah, but what I'm
But I
saying is
will.
the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they had two heavyweight guys like yourself and myself, and also
Mm-hmm.
Puff, three right, who are there. Puff because St.
Mm-hmm.
John's Prep and the son there. But outside of that, you had us two there, giving coverage and videotaping and taking pictures, and
And plus, they don't really get that out
no,
there.
not at all.
At least not at that particular school. Maybe St. Peter's, Curtis, Farrell, they might get more of that, but I don't know about more.
Yeah.
Correct, Dave. The sponsorship dollars dictate the position media credentials are approved. Very true.
Mm. Well, you see that a lot, being well traveled and
Mm-hmm.
going to these different tournaments,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes you tell me, yo, Paul, I still haven't received my uh credentials for this game that I'm going to next week or next month out
Yeah.
in Colorado or New Orleans, where the hell you be going? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Paul, I'm
Yeah.
in such and such at this game when we talk and stuff like that. So
Right.
uh it's definitely a different thing. It says make New York City. There you go. There you go. That's awesome.
That should be a hat. That's true.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Definitely need that be a hat or a t-shirt for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Make New York City media great again. Yeah. Because now it's in our hands. It's not in the New York Post hands, Daily News, Newsday. It's in our hands now. And we got to
Yeah.
take care of it.
Speaking of them, it's like I said, they're off covering pro sports. we're in a city that has basically two of every major sport, two NBA teams, two NFL teams, even though they play in Jersey, two baseball teams, two hockey teams. So there's too much for them, you know what I mean, to focus on high school sports. Sadly, if this was
Yeah.
another city, there would still be some type, at least some type of coverage by the newspapers. And then it's like, as far as stepping that goes, they're in a different county where there's no really nothing else going on except for the G League Knicks. But beyond that, you know what I'm saying, they gotta cover high school sports up in Westchester. Same thing with Newsday. They're only exclusive to Long Island. So they gotta, they gotta cover that. I mean, the only real pro team they really have is the Islanders. That's about it. But you mean they still got to give them that coverage. But there's still high school coverage out there in Long Island as well. But
That's
it's
for
just
sure.
our city kids need it more.
So hopefully they can beat Duke. Yeah, yeah. Yo, Cal, what's the score? What's the score? That's right. Never too much media, especially if people are only providing highlights without opinions, right?
Hmm.
And also too, it's enough of us where we can start spreading out to different areas. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. You gotta take your show on the road. It's like the city is great, but it's like at some point you gotta figure it out. You gotta spread your wings somewhere else.
saying
Even
Philly
if
is go ahead. Go ahead.
even if even if it takes you putting up your own money. That's another thing. A lot of people, and that's basically what it is. It's like people are thinking, oh, I don't want to pay for such and such. I mean, but if you don't put up your own money, it's never gonna happen. Yeah, and Philly is so much smaller than New York City. It is. That's true to a certain extent, but I mean, they have a great culture down there. Like, so every year, the month of August, it's elite. It's a legislature that passed Philly Legendary Hoops Summer Month. That's a big thing out there. Like all the tournaments are going on, the Chosen League, the Rumpf Classic, street ball tournaments. You know what I mean? Everything for the kids, like the whole, like all of Philly come out. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope.
So I bet Chicago goes crazy as well in hoops, gyms, and arenas are packed.
Yeah, I've been to Chicago once. About almost 4 years ago, like a little over 3 years ago. I went out there for a game. They had G Herbo, the rapper, out there at UIC Pavilion. It was pretty cool. I honestly don't think the A Division wants me at their games at all, so they can dictate everything, especially awards. That's not exactly true.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been welcoming towards us.
Yeah, always. Yeah,
St. Joe's, yeah, St. Joe's Prep. I'm
yeah.
sorry,
St. Joe by the Sea.
St. Joe's by the Sea. My fault. I forgot. Yes, by the sea. Not the school in Philly, but yeah. I don't know what he means by the A division. Is he talking about CHSAA or 3A in PSAL?
I think you're talking about this, the CHAA. So how do you like the atmosphere in Binghamton for the
Valid question.
NYSPHSAA
NISPA.
championship? Yes, NISPA, yes.
NISPA was cool, but it's not a lot of life up there. I would have. I enjoyed Glens Falls maybe a little bit more the than I did Binghamton. And it's like at least Glens Falls you can walk around. There's places to go close to the arena. Binghamton, there's really nothing. Like when I got off the bus on Saturday, I had to walk 15 minutes to get to the nearest McDonald's.
Damn.
Yeah,
Starvation.
it's nothing out there. It's sad. But then again, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. So like they have a local chicken spot by the arena, but it was closed. But yeah, man, it's not much going on up there. Public transportation is so
5549 St. John's. 5949 St. John's.
57, 52 now.
Oh, okay.
57, 54 actually.
Oh, you watching the talk? Okay, good, good, good. So
No,
keep
no,
it.
no. I'm looking at it on Google.
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, he said not the schools, the higher ups.
The only way you all right, so this is what you gotta do. You gotta hit up the ADs, whoever the athletic directors are or the coaches, let them know that you want to come there, but also let them know why you want to be there. That's most important.
Peace out, you told a beast in the building. Yeah, look, the higher ups of the CHAA takes care of us. They always make
They
sure we
do.
have a seat at the table. They make sure
Mm-hmm.
that we're comfortable. So, hats off always to the Captain School League for what they do for us.
Indeed.
So that the CHAA, PSL, Boys and Girls Staten Island are fertile ground for great talent and welcome media. That's a fact. Tell them, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them. Tell them, Mike.
Very true. Very, very true.
That's real, man. And again, we came on here so we could kind of spread the word and promote it so everybody could come out. I know Hoop Dream's gonna be there. Myself, Dave, Five Films, Sheila's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be there. We have a couple more people that hit me up in the DMs and said they're gonna be there. Look, pull
Mm-hmm.
up, Puff, Scooter. Everybody pull up, man, for the kill. Everybody, man, who's out here, covering for high school sports, street basketball, just come out, man. Come out so we can celebrate each other, man, and show each other some love and take this historic picture, man.
Mm-hmm.
So now to go down
Indeed.
in history.
And I think they still have the Stop DWI tournament up there, but it's probably in another location now.
What's that, Dave?
So
Yep,
that
Mike
was like,
Walker's gonna be in the building for sure.
yeah, so Stop DWI was a Christmas tournament or something that used to happen around December.
Okay. And who
Yeah.
that consists of? That the players?
So mostly like upstate teams in that area. But I remember I saw an article where Charles Jones and Bishop Ford played up there one year.
Mm.
Yeah. So they've had city teams in there. Yeah.
Mike, if
But
you could explain in a few words why it's important for us to get together on Sunday and what that would do for the city, for us coming together taking this picture. I know you gotta
mhm.
type it, but just in a few words, why you think it's important, or anybody else that's in the chat, why you think it's important for us to get together as a whole and celebrate each other.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, I gotta depart because this spot is closing up. But yeah, definitely come through Sunday afternoon. We gonna do something historic. So
No
definitely
doubt.
make for those of you guys that are able to be there, definitely come through. Love is love.
All
Cool.
right. Peace you, Dave. Appreciate you, man. I'll see you Sunday.
Later.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on here too long either. I just want to get some more feedback from the people in the chat. So yes, New York City teams will be there too. Same as Josh Palmer, Tournament Elmira too. Oh, that's the upstate. Yeah, that's the upstate DWI. Um, I thought again that this year was such a great year. Trust me, had me tired out. I'm in the process of getting my rest right now, but to close out the year, we had some great games, some great championship games. Those of you who's still interested in seeing some of those championship games, check out uh my channel. We're gonna have them on there, definitely with some live commentary. So please check out the games on the YouTube channel. You want to see some great interviews, some live action, and things of that nature. Please check out the channel and subscribe and let the world know we are the official home for New York City basketball, baby. Mike said, I think it's important that we unify as New York City media to show that we as a collective that has the same goal, the kids. That's a fact. And we can end it on that note, Mike, because I think that's a great message. Um, just to send off to the world and end the show with, man, because that's the whole point. Unification, unity. A lot of times they say we can't come together and do something positive, and we've been doing it. Showing up to these games, coming up with some great content with these kids, for these kids, and this Sunday we can come together in person and take a picture with each other. All right, I'm gonna have my guy Delroy come out, photographer. He's gonna come out, take some pictures and do some videos of us. We're going to be doing interviews of each other. Come out Sunday, 259 Hancock Street, Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna have the meet and greet from 1 to 2, and then we're gonna have it's right here. There you go. I want to put that up there. Boom. And then from 2 to 2:30, from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, we'll be taking some films and, spread love, baby, spread love. So that's the address right there. I want to put it on the screen so everybody can see it. All right. Basketball Heads in conjunction with Dave's Joint. Sunday, March 29th, 259 Hancock Street, Brooklyn, New York. Meet and greet, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and picture being taken. 2:30 to 3 p.m. We're going to have some refreshments being served. I don't mind spending a few coins to feed some people that come out, man. So let's all come out and definitely enjoy ourselves. Thank you, Mike. See you there, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Thank you. Tonight's episode definitely was dope. Glad for my guy Dave for pulling up so we get the word out there. Everybody else out there, Basketball Heads, High School Basketball Weekly. We are out, baby. We are out. Peace.